Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a little Valentine's Day look. I initially wanted to do something pretty like soft. It did end up being pretty soft, but not quite as soft as I was envisioning firsthand. But it's actually, I really ended up liking it. I was looking through like my shadows, just trying to like get in like an inspiration, and I've been really loving the like vampy plum burgundy, but I still wanted it to be soft, which is pretty much how I came up with this look. And I wanted to keep it in the same color theme. Obviously you can change it out and do like a darker lip if you want to, if you're going out something at night, but if you're doing like something during the day or like in transition, you can do this look. But like I said, you can kind of coordinate the eyes with the lips darker as well. And then literally this bun probably took me all of like 20 seconds. I have one of those little like bunette things, and my hair's kind of thin, so it doesn't work the way normal people do it, I guess, because it would peek through a little bit. So I kind of just throw my hair all the way over and then like grab from the back and kind of just wrap everything around and bobby pin it a couple times. And then I didn't do it today, but you can kind of just grab a little bit of hairspray and like an old toothbrush or something and get the little baby hairs if you have any right here too. And then I just pulled out a couple little strands here. You can even do some if you have baby hairs here too. You can pull those strands down as well. Alright, so if you want to see how to create this soft romantic Valentine's Day look, then keep watching and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! So to start off the look today, we're just going to be using the shade Fresh from the Tamana palette. It's one of the Anastasia colors. It's just like a really pretty cream, and we're going to be putting that all over the lid, and we'll be using it later for the highlight as well on both sides. And then after that, we're going to be just going into that crease area right above and using the shade Bengal, which is a really pretty light brown, and it's a pretty matte color, and we're just going to be focusing right on that crease area and staying away from anything on the lids on both of the eyes. And then once you have that blended all over, it's me going in, which is the shade Sangria, which is like a really pretty, slightly metallic, like berry color. And we should be going in with a really small, like definer brush almost, but it is rounded, and going just right exactly where your lid closes, so we can't really see it too much once your eye is open. And you can also use the exact same thing if you don't have very much of like an eyelid. You can go and create the effect of having one. And then after that, right above it, I'm just going to be using the shade from Makeup Geek Unbitten. It's a really pretty matte of the same shade as like Sangria. And just going to go ahead with like a more flat blending brush, if you would, and just blending right above that, trying to keep as much as you can right off that lid, but you're going in later and adding a little bit more of that fresh just to kind of cover up and make it a little bit softer. And then once you get that blended all up in the crease, you're just going to go ahead and bring it down into that lower V area, definitely focusing on leaving that 2/3 of the eyelid blank. And then once you have that nicely blended into your desired like color pigmentation, I'm just going to be going in with the shade Latte from Makeup Geek as well, which is another really pretty light brown matte shade, and going directly with that exact same brush into the exact same spot of your crease where I put the Sangria earlier, and just going in and adding a little bit extra definition. Since this color is a pretty soft light brown, it's not going to take away too much, but just add a little bit of extra depth right into that crease. And like I said earlier, just going back in with that fresh and kind of just brightening up right where you had it before, so you can see the color a little bit more vividly. I do like to bring mine up into that inner corner right there, and I'm going to be using it as a highlight shade today as well. I didn't want to do anything too sparkly or like glimmery up there, so I just went ahead with that same shade because it's probably one of my favorites from Anastasia, to be honest with you. And I do like to go ahead and blend that a little bit more, just right to where the two colors meet, so that way it's pretty diffused and there's no harsh lines right there, which is just what I'm going to be doing right now to soften it up just a little bit. And then so I can finish the eyes, I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I just use this kind of like an upside down triangle, and then I go in with my Beauty Blender and blend that in. This one is the brightening shade, so it's got like a little bit of a pink undertone. I think since I'm so fair, probably once this one runs out, which it almost has, I'll probably go in with one of the lightest shades, which got a little bit more yellow in it. And just setting that with the Banana Power from Anastasia Beverly Hills, like normal, so that way we can go in and go ahead and finish the eye look. And then for liner, this is just my go-to eyeliner, and I'm going to be going about probably I'd say 2/3 of the way in. I end up fixing it at the end, but I just want, instead of winging it upwards, I'm just going to do kind of like a sideways wing, and nothing super dramatic, kind of just, you want to leave that inner corner open so that way the brightness of the fresh can show through. And then for the waterline, I'm just going to be going in and using an LA Girl. I think it's one of their gel eye pencils. This one is just in the shade brown. These are really nice and creamy. They're not super duper pigmented. I do find myself having to like reapply in that waterline only because I feel like it gets a little bit lighter, especially after I go in here and blend that out with the pencil brush. This kind of just gives a really, really nice like smoky effect to the eye without having to use shadow if you didn't want to. With this one, I just wanted to add a little bit of like drama, and going back in with the shade Bitten from Makeup Geek and going like pretty much about halfway underneath and dragging it a little bit downwards, so it's kind of a very nice shaded effect from that brown into that really deep vampy auburn purple color, if you will, and just go ahead and blending that really good on both sides and leading it up to meet the end of that wing. And then for brows today, I'm just going to be doing the normal brow routine using the Anastasia Dip Brow in Soft Brown, followed by the Brow Wiz in, actually, the Dip Brow I've switched and I've been using Soft Brown, which tends to work a little bit better for me. But since my brow hairs are a little bit dark, it kind of ends up making it look pretty dark anyway. And once I have both of those put on, I just finish it and I top it off with the Gimme Brow from Benefit. That's just like my usual 3 products that I do use. I tend to find when I film doing my eyebrows, they turn out a little bit different than when I actually do them in person, but that little angled chirp right there in the front definitely helps, so it's not super, super dark on both sides there. And then for contour, I'm just going to be using the shade Fawn from the Anastasia kit, just like I normally do. I've been dabbling a little bit in cream contour lately, but once I feel a little bit more comfortable with that, I'll probably put up a video on like cream contour and highlight. I've been playing around with the LA Girl concealer ones. And with that one, I'm just going to be going right up into the cheekbone and all around my temples into the forehead area, just like normal. And I do tend to like a little bit more of a cool toned contour just because I'm so fair. I feel like it is more flattering and it looks a little bit more like a natural shadow. And for blush today, I'm just going to be going with my Chanel blush in the shade Innocence. It's a really pretty like soft rosy pink. With these blushes, one thing to note is they're not ridiculously pigmented, so it's not like you're going to pick a little bit up on your brush and have intense color. You're definitely going to have to build it up, but these are very finely milled and super soft, and they're probably definitely one of my favorite blushes. And then obviously you need to add a little pizzazz. So I'm just going to be going in with the Gerard Cosmetics BB Illumination. This stuff is so good. I cannot tell you. It looks so natural. And it definitely doesn't make me look like I have foiled cheeks, which I'm definitely not a fan of. And I like using a brush, or you can technically use your fingers, just whichever personal preference. And then I'll go ahead and pop a little bit on the Cupid's bow as well. I tend to stay away from putting it on my nose because unfortunately I was in an accident and it was broken, which is why it's crooked. So one day if it gets fixed, that is why. And then for my bottom lashes, I'm going to be using the Ico London Black Magic just on the bottom lashes. And then for the top lashes, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Immortal Lash. This has just been like my favorite combo over the last month, and this one's really good for like volume versus the Ico, which is good for lengthening those bottom lashes. With this one, I definitely go in with 2 coats, just add a little bit of extra drama, and it's pretty thick. And for lips, I'm going to be lining and filling in with the NYX pencil in Peekaboo Neutral, which is like a really pretty, obviously, like pinky neutral color. And then for right on top of that, I'm going to be using my Bite Beauty matte lip crayon in the shade Tatin, which is like a really pretty, I want to say like a like a neutral pink, but it's a little bit definitely more of that like rosy pink after I go ahead and fill that in. And these lip pencils are actually super creamy, so just in case you're a little bit hesitant, these are really, really nice formula. And then after I'm finished with the lips, I'm just going to be going in with my custom velour lashes. They're the Flare Crisscross something. Anyway, so that's the full look for today. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.